Okay, what I want to do on this part of the video is show a simple spreadsheet that I use to figure out my cash flows for a rental property and decide if this is the property for me. So this is something you can create on your own. You don't particularly need this spreadsheet. As a matter of fact, it's probably better that you create it on your own and then you can use your own assumptions and your own information. I'm going to run through mine to give you an idea on how to get started. Okay, a lot of your cash flows are related to the value of the purchase value of your property. So there's going to be a lot of formulas that key off of this property value. I'm going to type in, for the sake of this demonstration, that the property that we're considering buying costs $250,000. And the next thing to consider is, and I pre-populated this formula just to make it a little bit simpler, is your mortgage payment. That's the obvious one. And what I said was, you can see up in the formula over here, I assume that you're paying a 4% mortgage monthly, and at 360 months, so it's a 30-year mortgage. That's good. The mortgage payment's going to come out to $1,193, and that is without any down payment. So you make adjustments depending on what you're doing. Okay, over here, rental income. Remember I told you to do your homework and find out what rents are in this area. Now's the time to use that information. Figure out how much you can rent your property out for. If there's multiple apartments, figure out how much each apartment costs and add them up. And this rental income is on a monthly basis. So for this property, we're going to say that the rental income is $2,000 a month. And basically, that's all your income. Everything else about your investment is expenses. Okay, so we got $2,000 income on one side, you got mortgage on the other side. Taxes, different everywhere. Northeast, taxes are high. In the South, taxes are quite low. You just have to find out through, say, the property appraiser's office or even the seller what taxes are for that property. Often, many localities have a formula where they base it off of the property value. So, in my area, it's about 2%. So I'm going to type in 2% of the property value is your property tax cost every year. And that comes out to $416 a month. Insurance, same thing. It's very variable. If you're in a hurricane, earthquake zone, insurances cost a lot of money. If you're not, it costs less. Conceivably, for condos or co-ops, your insurance might be almost nothing because you're not really insuring the structure. The only thing you need to insure is what is within the walls of your property. The way you can find out insurance costs are to ask the seller for their last year's insurance bill. If you live in the area, you have an idea what insurance costs are by looking at the value of your home and then adjusting the insurance cost that you pay up or down depending on whether or not the $250,000 investment is more or less than the value of your home. For example, if your home is a $500,000 home and your insurance cost is $3,000 a year, then the $250,000 home likely has an insurance cost of $2,500 a year. And often this also is related to the property value, technically to the replacement value and not the purchase value, but close enough for the purpose of this study. I'm going to say that the insurance cost is 1% of the property value. That comes out to $208 a month. Repairs. Repairs are simpler. In one way, they're more difficult in the other way. No one can tell you exactly what your monthly repair costs are. But a rule of thumb is that repairs over the long term to maintain the quality of a property over time is about 2.5% a year. So that's my standard assumption whenever I'm looking at properties. Let's type that in. 2.5% a year. The monthly cost is going to be $520 a month. Vacancy and deadbeats. Your property will not be rented every single day forever and ever and ever. Every once in a while somebody will move out. It'll take you a month or two maybe to replace them, or every once in a while somebody might not pay. You have to consider what an assumption that you're comfortable with for your area is. I think of it as somewhere around 1 month lost every 2 years or so per apartment, whether it be through vacancy or deadbeats. Doesn't matter to me. I'm just not getting paid, right? So one month lost every 2 years is about 4%. And notice there's a star there because it's related to your rental income. It's not really related to your property value. So it's 4% of your rental income, monthly rental income, you're not going to collect. So $80 a month, you need to budget for that. Lastly is your lost investment gains. And this, you know, some people want to put 0 in there, and you can. If you put a down payment, that's essentially an investment into the property that you could have made somewhere else. For example, if you put a $20,000 down payment or $25,000 down payment, 10% of the purchase price, that's $25,000 that is not going to be invested in the stock market or in a savings account and will not be earning money. So I'm going to say that that is just 1% of the purchase price, and that comes out to $208. Okay, so this property here, the way we set it up after we considered the potential property value, the potential purchase price, and all the expenses, does not look like a go. Rental income is $2,000 a month, and we're basically out $2,600 a month by the time you consider all the expenses. So we're losing $627 a month. Not very good. A spreadsheet like this can help you change some numbers around to see what would make this a good purchase. Do you think that you can maybe get the seller to go down to $200,000? Let's see what would happen. The seller went down to $200,000. Some of the mortgage, the taxes, the insurance, and the repairs all would likely decrease for you. The vacancy cost would stay the same because that depends on rent, and the lost investment gains would also go down. It's still not quite profitable. Let's say that you think $2,000 might be a little conservative. You, after you fix things up and find some good tenants, you might be able to get an extra 20% or $2,400 a month. Now we're talking. So this property, if you feel comfortable with all these assumptions, now is a go. You need to do something to increase the rents to $2,400 a month, and you need to convince the seller to drop in price. But once you get those two things happening, you can feel comfortable. You can own this property for the long term because your inflows are going to exceed your outflows over time. That's how you do it. You definitely need to construct a spreadsheet like this on your own so you know if you're getting in over your head or not. This is where I start and end my analysis every single time I make a purchase.